Most people think surviving a winter night is about building a big fire. That's what gets you killed. On the American frontier, a roaring fire meant three things: smoke that revealed your location for miles, flames that burned fuel in hours, and light that destroyed your concealment completely. Yet men like Simon Kenton survived weeks in sub-zero temperatures with no shelter, no tent, and no visible flame. Tonight, I'm showing you the underground heat trick that kept 18th century frontiersmen alive, a method so effective it's almost been erased from modern survival knowledge. Simon Kenton was one of the toughest frontiersmen of the late 1700s. Known as the Iron Man of the frontier, he survived for weeks in what is now Ohio and Kentucky, often sitting motionless overnight in sub-zero temperatures while hostile forces searched for him just yards away. He had to stay warm, hidden, and mobile all at the same time. This method came from indigenous nations like the Shawnee and Wyandot, then refined through brutal trial and error in the wilderness. This was invisible survival. Kenton once sat buried in snow for an entire night while a search party walked right past him, completely unaware. Here's what most people get wrong. They think cold air is the enemy. It's not. The real threat is exposure, moisture, wind, and heat loss from the frozen ground beneath you. A roaring bonfire solves one problem, but creates three more. Problem 1. Smoke. A campfire produces a smoke column visible for 5 to 10 miles. That smoke tells everyone exactly where you are. Problem 2. Fuel consumption. A fire big enough to keep you warm burns through enormous amounts of wood. When you run out at 2 a.m. in 10-degree weather, you're finished. Problem 3. Light. Fire destroys your night vision. Anyone watching from darkness can see you perfectly. You've become a lit target. Frontiersmen needed long-lasting heat without flame. They needed to disappear while staying warm. That's what this delivers. Here's the step-by-step. Step 1. The pit. Dig a shallow pit about 12 inches across and 10 to 12 inches deep. Use slightly elevated ground where cold air won't pool, with natural windbreaks nearby. Step 2. The secret fuel. Line the bottom with dry white oak bark. This bark is critical. It burns incredibly hot, produces almost no smoke, and smolders instead of flaring. Pine or birch will smoke heavily and burn too fast. White oak is the gold standard. If you can't find white oak, dense hardwood coals from oak, maple, or ash will work, but fern time drops significantly. Step 3. The coal bed. Start a small fire inside and let it burn down to glowing coals. No flames, just red-hot embers. This takes 20 to 30 minutes. Step 4. The layering. Layer more bark in a crisscross pattern over the coals. This creates air channels that keep embers smoldering without flaring. Step 5. The soil cover. Lightly cover with soil. Don't seal completely. You need 2 to 3 inches of loose dirt, leaving gaps for air. The soil traps heat while preventing embers from burning too quickly. What you've created is a subsurface heater. No flames, almost no smoke, just steady heat rising from the ground. A single loading can smolder for 12 to 18 hours without maintenance. Now, here's how to survive the night. The position. Sit directly over the pit with legs folded beneath you. Center your body over the heat source, close enough to feel warmth, but not so close the ground burns through clothing. The blanket technique. Drape a heavy wool blanket over your shoulders and head, letting it fall to the ground around you. The blanket traps rising heat. The ground blocks wind. The pit radiates heat straight into your core. Frontiersmen called this making a little room. Inside that dome, the temperature can be 40 to 50 degrees warmer than outside. Snow could fall, temperatures could plunge, but inside that bubble, the air stayed warm enough to sleep sitting upright. In the morning, Kenton would wake with snow piled on the blanket, unaware it had fallen. Inside, he was warm, dry, and ready to move. Critical safety. This works when done correctly, but understand the risks. Never fully seal the pit. Carbon monoxide is invisible and deadly. The embers need airflow, and so do you. Test heat with your hand first. If too hot to hold your palm 6 inches above for 5 seconds comfortably, it's too hot to sit over. Keep the blanket loose for fresh air around your face. You're creating a heat trap, not an airtight enclosure. This works because you're sitting over the pit with open air around you. Fresh air flows in at ground level, while warm air rises and gets trapped. This isn't just history, it's thermal control, fuel efficiency, and stealth survival that still applies today. Your $400 tent can rip or collapse. Fuel canisters run empty. Batteries die in extreme cold. Hand warmers last 4 hours. This method uses physics and controlled airflow. When done, it leaves almost no trace. A modern campfire burns 50 to 100 pounds of wood per night. This pit uses 10 to 15 pounds of bark. That's 80% less fuel. No light, almost no smoke, no sound. This lets you stay warm while staying hidden. The most powerful survival skills aren't loud. They don't look impressive on social media. They're forgotten because they don't sell gear. But history proves this. People who survive longest work with nature, not against it. Kenton survived because he understood heat transfer, fuel efficiency, and concealment. He learned from indigenous peoples who perfected these methods over thousands of years. Modern survival culture says preparedness is about buying gadgets. It's not. It's about knowledge, about understanding principles that don't change. Fire creates heat, but also vulnerability. This method creates warmth without cost. Here's my challenge. This winter, before you rely on gear, learn this. Dig the pit, build the coal bed, sit over it with a blanket, and feel how effective this is. You don't need expensive equipment. You need white oak bark, a fire starter, a wool blanket, and knowledge of how heat moves. When everyone's huddled around a roaring fire, burning wood, and announcing their location, you'll be sitting in quiet darkness, invisible and warm. That's the difference between survival and smart survival. If this was valuable, drop a comment. What lost survival skills need to be brought back? What methods from history do we need to rediscover? If you're serious about learning more frontier techniques, let me know. There's a whole world of forgotten knowledge out there. Stay warm, stay hidden, stay alive.